welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you all know that I absolutely loved Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda. It is 100% one of my favourite standalone books. I loved it, I absolutely devoured it. Every time I had to put that book down I was very sad, and it is genuinely, I love that book. So when I found out that Becky Albertalli was releasing a new book back in April, I'm a little bit late, I know. I knew that I had to get it and pick it up and talk about it with you guys because it's Becky Albertalli. And it did not disappoint. I loved it so much. So this book is about a girl called Molly who has never really been in a relationship. She's just kind of had lots and lots of crushes. But when her sister gets a new girlfriend, alongside this new girlfriend comes her new girlfriend's friends. She ends up meeting one of these guys, but also at the same time in her life starts working with a guy called Reed, and it's kind of everything that unfolds from there. And one thing that I really liked about this book was that it didn't have a love triangle, because I'm losing my patience with love triangles. Most of the time they don't really work, they're never usually done very well. It's just kind of this like angsty, I like him, what do I do? Whereas I felt like this was a more accurate representation of kind of feelings and kind of working out feelings for different people and how that all goes down, rather than it being some weird angsty love triangle. It actually felt a lot more realistic and a lot more how it would actually go down, and I really appreciated that, because when I first read the synopsis I was like, please don't be a love triangle. And as usual with Becky Albertalli's books, I love the fact that it's diverse, but that's not treated as like a massive weird thing, like there are LGBTQ+ characters and that's it, that's normal, because that's a normal representation of the population and just how it should be. Shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah. There's an LGBTQ+ wedding in this, which is really cool, but it's how different people react to it, and you can also kind of see how different people still feel about it, which is really crappy, but it was done really well. Gay marriage is legalised in the book, which is really cool, and then they have this big wedding and it's just really nice, and it just shows that like they just deserve to have a wedding like everyone else. Like why was it ever an issue? The way this was written, I love it. I really love the way that Becky Albertalli is able to write and tell a story and deliver that story to us, and there's just something about the way she writes, and not that Simon was bad, like I said, it's one of my favourite books, but you can tell that she's growing as an author, which I really liked, and that you could really kind of, you could see that in this book, and I'm just so excited to read more from her, because I'm so in love with the way that she tells stories and the way that she is able to bring those stories to us and to bring these characters to life. I just love the characters that she creates. They're not perfect characters, they all have their flaws, they all have their kind of things about them which are not the best, but they also kind of learn from that, and you get to see a wide range of how people act as humans in this book, rather than kind of being like perfect characters and perfect romances and all this kind of thing. I just felt like this book felt very real, and the characters felt very real and very relatable, and I loved the way she wrote the story. One thing that I really liked as well is, obviously Molly has never been in a relationship. It's like a bit where they have a sleepover with a bunch of people and they're talking about stuff and she feels uncomfortable, and I really like that that was in it. It's never really touched upon, but you kind of do have that. You can't contribute to a conversation, you don't really know what you're supposed to say because you don't know like what's being spoken about kind of thing. So I really like that was in it, and she had those moments of, I don't really want to talk about this, I can't say anything, I can't, you know, I can't contribute, which I thought was really good, and I really like that that was explored, because I don't feel like it is as much. And I actually spoke to some of my friends about it after I'd read the book, and some of them had read it and some of them haven't, and the ones that had were like, I noticed that too and I really liked it, and the ones that hadn't were like, that's a really good thing, because that's so totally accurate and definitely what happens. The only thing I didn't like was that then at the end, when Molly does get into a relationship, she's kind of like, I get it now, almost immediately, which is not what would happen. If you've never been in a relationship, you're still going to have that kind of trying to find your footing and trying to figure out what's going on and stuff, so it wouldn't be that immediate. I understand it, I get it. You'd still have that kind of transitioning period, and I felt like that was quite quick. But other than that, I really liked that, and I felt that was done really well. It felt a bit rushed near the end, but luckily it was just kind of near the end, so it was a bit better. There was also Simon references, and you possibly get to see characters that we already know, which I loved. And you don't have to read Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda to understand this, or vice versa, but I love it. I loved when she did that, and I was just like, hey, it's Simon! I just liked how they had that little link. And as usual, all the Harry Potter references gave me life, and I think it's this one where there was also a slight reference to Lin-Manuel Miranda as well. I love it when books that aren't about my interests cater to my interests. Thank you. And I also really like that they sort of touched upon kind of siblings and how, because I'm not a twin, but I am a sibling. I have a sibling. I like that I had that kind of, you're not gonna live together forever, and like when you're a kid that person is like always there, like your sibling is like always in your house and like always with you, and that's not always going to be the case. And I like that it explored that and explored family and how that can change and stuff, and I just thought it was done really well and really did, even though they're quite young, it did kind of explore that and that kind of realization, which I did really like, and it was again very relatable. I totally understand it, so I thought that was really good as well. And I just really liked that it explored so much about family and friendship, but it went a lot deeper than just it being this love story. It just had so much to it. So yeah, like I said, other than I felt like it was a bit rushed at the ending and suddenly she's like, I get this, I get all of it immediately. I loved this book. I thought it was really good. I just, the writing, the style, the themes, just everything that was kind of discussed and explored, I really liked. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend Becky Albertalli's books. She's brilliant. This book was amazing. Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda is absolutely fantastic. I have a review for that which I'll link down below as well. So have any of you guys read this book? I'd love to know your thoughts down below. If you are new here, I make videos a couple of times a week, so if you'd like to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all my links will be in the description below if you would like to come hang out on my other social medias. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, really, really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!